know, maybe it's your old Fisher anvil, but we were doing like, we did like 14 axes in like 4 days by hand.
Yeah.
And man, that anvil at the end of the night was like so freaking high. You could cook a steak on it. Because we would have one in the forge cooking while we're hammering one. We would just keep like piggybacking.
All day long we were just running 10, 12 axes just non-stop. Him and somebody else were swinging a 6 and an 8-pound sledgehammer. And I was swinging my 6-pound on the short handle.
That was awesome.
Just for,
I wish I had the videos of that.
I don't know, it had to have been at least 8 hours. Just boof, 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 just driving all day long.
Well, we would start from like a...
Leverage.
Yeah, this is, I guess, chest lever grip there, or scissor grip. And what you're essentially doing is using these muscles here.
Yeah.
Very powerful cut, and your eyes are right on top of your knife. Instead of just going all day, like you see like Cub Scouts doing.
Yeah.
It's like a really poor cut. It's not accurate. I mean, you can get some powerful cuts if I go this way, like, you know. Then you make a nice chip, but it's not accurate. But yeah, basically the safety's in your bones and how you're doing this stuff.
Yep.
And I rarely get cut. I usually get cut if I sharpen, actually.
You get cut when you sharpen?
Yeah, it's always something silly, you know. You're out, you pick up a knife, You're usually carving, you know. You're using both hands to kind of control. Right. So this cut is really, I'm just doing this.
I've seen that.
And I'm kind of using that like a little fulcrum or something. And it helps me steer.
That's hospital time.
And it was funny because I'm not...
And then the Hopis and the Anastasies started making them longer, started crafting them out of River Kings. That was the material that was readily available to them, right? So like Sean was talking about, you know, being able to utilize the resources around you. I mean, that's kind of like what bushcraft is all about, right? You see what's around you, how you can utilize it to survive, make fire. They started crafting these little things with, you know, the straight through bore, really easy, just something they could make music on. The whole idea behind it was that was a chording instrument, right? So the young bucks would go out and they'd do-do-do-do-do-do, and the chick would pick out the one who had the best music and go to hang out with him, and bam. The history with the flute, though, and this was discovered in the Shiprock region up around the Four Corners. Once a man was married, the flute was buried, never to be played again. And when they were doing a lot of excavation up around the Shiprock area, they dug up flutes that were hundreds of years old. Good friends of mine, I was showing Alex last night, have quite a few historic pieces. A couple of them were actually from those digs that were in Richard Payne's collection. And when he passed, the kids didn't want anything to do with the collection, didn't go into a museum. And Robert and Julia, friends of mine, were very fortunate in the auction part to take all the historic pieces, all the Peruvian stuff, as much as the native stuff as they could actually capture, and go from there, right? Seminole Canyon area, there's always these shamans with these freaking antlers on their heads and these twinkly lines. Yeah. And then
Holding heads.
running deer is really big down there. And then one night I had a dream that when she was making this for me, that there was a spider coming out of the top. I have a bunch of tarantulas at my house. So I asked her so she burned a spider and coming out of the mouth hole, little grandma spider. Yeah, it's really cool. In the year of my 50th birthday, so last year I turned 50 January, and the catch to it was I wanted to make all of the gear that was used or that was found with Ötzi the Iceman. Ötzi the Iceman, are you familiar with him? If not, he was 5,300 years ago, a traveler. There's a lot of speculation and conjecture on what his deal was and why he was on a mountain and how he died on that mountain. But he was found in the Italian Alps with most of his equipment that he was traveling with. So, and once this stuff warms up, it was like wearing a Levi jacket that's been broke in. You know, I mean, it's totally comfortable. I think that's. I had the guys check that a couple times, make sure that my shingles are shingling. So that's what I came up with to add to the equipment that was found in its clothing scraps. There was a great picture, but there was a lot of things missing. So I added this for that. I left these. This is mulberry bark, and believe it or not, this stuff was unbelievably comfortable. It's raw. I didn't prep it like you would inner bark to make cordage and then do it. I just braided it. This was basically the same idea or weave as the knife sheath, so I figured that was being used to tying over under twining, I believe it's called. So what I did, made the pack as close as I could. I used some of the tools I have more tools that I use. I tried to keep as primitive as I could. Then again, there's a timeline. You know, our window was coming up, so I use modern files and stuff like that, sandpaper and things. So the other thing that was found, mysterious weirdness, but I think right here is what, this is my theory on what led to the death of him. I don't think he was being pursued by people. If he was a shaman, he was a shaman. The tattoos were kind of unexplained. I think it was more of a common medicinal thing, maybe rubbing herbs into achy spots, things like that. You can go on and on. Again, I'm not a scientist, but going back to, I guess it was junior high, maybe high school, I was in Grass Valley Creek, which is one of my favorite places to hang out. And we were going down there, we had bows, and we were going to get some squirrels, hopefully. So we're going down the creek. My buddy has a quiver like this, takes a slit, twist, arrows fall out, stick in the ground in front of him, and he turns like this and falls next to the arrow. He had an arrow here, and I think one here, stuck, not in him. They all missed him. Luckiest man, his nickname was Lucky actually. But anyways, what I think happened somewhere in that mountain, wandering, there was a fall similar to that, and the arrow was found. If I could get it about, think about like right there, going upward. So whoever was hunting him, if they were hunting him, they shot up at him. You know, so started thinking of that stuff. This is the angle. The hole's still there. The head, the arrowhead, which this one is actually based on, is still there. And it's in. I don't want to roll it up because there's too much stuff to do, too much stuff to see. I think John's gonna kill me. Not around too much. But feel free if you want to come up here. Look, it's drawn flies. This is the real stuff. This is real caveman stuff. Feel free to look through some of it. I just gotta tell you, it's very fragile, like this stuff. But feel free to dig through these. I'm gonna probably pack them up in a little bit once they dry out because I don't want to put them back wet or damp. And yeah, thank you very much for listening to this.
Thank you.
What's that stone thing you were having? Was that another lamb?
my saddle horse between my legs, riding them out on the range. Just to keep me in the side, making sure step with pride out on the Texas plains. Well, somehow it seems I'm back in the dream, way back where I belong. Just an old cowhand from the Rio Grande, way back where I belong. All these city lights and these city ways are driving me insane. I wanna be alone, I wanna be back home, out on the Texas plains. My Java from an old tin can while the moon goes riding by. Wanna hear the sound of the whippoorwill, I wanna hear the cows cry. Wanna feel my saddle horse between my legs, riding him out on the range, just to kick him in the side, making sure I step with pride out on the Texas plains.
Woo! Nice. You got it, badass.
Yeah, we're going on the road. Yeah, man.